ain't chrome.
Everything is chrome in the future.
So this is going to be a different style of review today because not in my recording studio, as you can probably see. But this is a Palethius Bowie Ronin, and I thought I'd give my thoughts on it, so let's do that. So, for those of you unaware of Palethius, he is a high-end knife maker, custom knife maker. He made the BC, the backline, things like this. Look at that. Such a beauty. But if you're not in the high-end knife area, you probably don't know of them, but I just have to talk about this knife because I got this today, so it's kind of like a first impressions video, almost like, but I think I am ready to give you my thoughts on this. There are many knives in my collection, or the knives that I've tried, that give me immediate kind of thoughts and opinions on this, like this knife is. And that's a good thing, to be honest, because I love this knife. That's all I'm gonna say. What we got here is pretty simple. Bowie blade and sandwich construction titanium handles with a latchless spacer design on Zen pins and bushings. Pretty simple, and also just everything that you need. It's just perfect. Everything that I've asked for. So I'll be honest with you guys. In the past, I think I may have said something about how I think Tang pins are better than Zen pins, but this is one of the good examples of Zen pins out there. There's not many good examples. Most of the time, Zen pins are loud, annoying, and bouncy for sure, which is a good thing, but sometimes they make a knife sound a bit obnoxious, and every single movement there's a noise. Unlike Tang pins, where they only make sound when they need to. This, for some reason, is like a Tang pin knife. It's tactile. It makes a sound only when it needs to, which is feedback, positive feedback, so you don't, cut yourself, which this thing can definitely do because it's really sharp and can cut some hairs if you want to try and shave yourself. My main worry with this knife was that it's going to be too handle biased, because in the past I've seen a lot of people say, oh, the Ronin's handle bias, too handle biased for me. And that's partially because it has a latchless spacer design. You can see it has spacers in here, there's screws for spacers, but there's no latch area, unlike most spacers. This is a latchless spacer design. And I thought this was gonna be, make it too handle heavy, but it is handle heavy. At least it's got a handle bias, but it's kind of like a fun handle bias. It's not too handle bias for it to be completely unbearable, but it's also, not really intrusive. It feels neutral when you're flipping it, which is interesting, to be honest. Not only does it feel neutral while you're flipping it, but it also feels lighter when you're flipping it. I think this knife, when I picked this up for the first time, was a lot heavier than some of the other knives, just because it's a thicker knife. It has really thick handles, and it just looks a lot heavier. But when flipping it, it feels light and agile, which is strange. It's almost like magic. I think that's probably why there's a lot of people out there that call Pale a wizard, which is very explainable because there's a lot of magic and wizardry going on in this knife. It's crazy. tolerances, rock solid. Not much play in there at all. Bushings are super nice, super smooth. Of course, that's how bushings should be. This knife is just really fun. That's all I can say about this knife. It's just really fun. Light where it needs to be, heavy where it needs to be. Distributed very well, surprisingly, even though it is handle bias. Again, some of you might not like that. But I think when you get into this high of price range, you get to, understand a knife a bit more. I mean, you gotta like that bounciness too. And that sound. It's super crisp sounding. Has a nice ring. Also nice and hollow sounding in there. You can kind of tell the undertones when you flip this knife. It's just a solid knife to flip. There are many knives where I am just impressed and almost speechless in a way by flipping it. It's not perfect, of course, quality issues, finishing issues, all the things that everyone's already talked about, but flipping experience, there's not much really else I can ask for. It's definitely not as good as a Gigas, or it's definitely not as good as a Monarch, or an Orca, because Orca's more neutral, but I think this is better than Orca because I'm enjoying it a lot more and it's more fun. Of course, it's definitely not as good as a Gigas for sure, but sometimes the Orca is a bit too serious and you need to enjoy something that's a bit more fun. This is a good answer for it. I just love it. It's really awesome. This knife really surprised me. I thought it was going to be, too handle bias to be enjoyed, or there was going to be too many quality issues for there to be, good looks, but just look at it. It looks nice. Looks pretty. It's clean looking. The Bowie blade looks sweet. And it flips really nice. Again, not as neutral and as balanced as a Gigas or a Monarch for sure, but it's fun. And personally, I would rather take a more fun flipper than a really, really serious one. Of course, when you're wanting, to get solid consecutive flips out of it, of course, go for the neutral, serious flippers, but this is fun and entertaining and just downright enjoyable. Definitely one of the keepers for sure. If you have one of these and you're looking to get it as a flipper, just to have it for fun flipping and experience, go right ahead and get one of these if you have the opportunity. If you're a collector and looking for a pretty high quality made and perfect condition knife, probably not the best route because it's got some quality issues and unfinishing spots in there. But again, phenomenal flipper, fun flipper. Handle bias where it needs to be, light where it needs to be, quick where it needs to be, subtle brilliance. All the time though. That's all I can say about it. Short vid, obviously. Quick vid, obviously. I'll see you guys later.
Everything chrome.